Well, kids, I'm in a pretty good mood today, so that means a new Blind Creepypasta Reading. Yes, that's right, Blind Creepypasta Readings, the show where I read creepypastas that I have not read before, and I offer my criticisms and opinions and stuff. Yes, it's pretty obvious that this story is gonna be terrible because it's on the it's on the Trollpasta wiki, and it's a killer creepypasta. But you know, sometimes in life you just gotta, lean back, have a nice little old time, and read something that you know is going to be terrible, but might just provide some comedy. Yes, yeah. Let's begin by reading The New Killer. Are you ready, kids? This is my about how I was made a killer. I swore an oath to try and kill Jeff the Killer with Jane, because this story is about how he made me one of the killers. We are off to a flying start. This is gonna be the greatest thing in the entire universe. When Jane was sent to hospital because of the blazing 420 house of Jeff's, I saw the entire thing. I was watching Jane, but she never noticed me because her eyes were focusing at Jeff and his knife tapping the window of his house. He was also looking at her with a devious smile. He was doing that because Jane was creeped out. The next thing I know is that punctuation, dude, it's not hard. You press the button. Speaking of which, this is not only is this a ripoff of Jeff the Killer, it's also a ripoff of Jane the Killer, because it's like, why are there so many like Jeff the Killer spin-offs that solely rely on the fact that like an outsider is watching the events happening? Like, it was the same thing in Jane the Killer, like she watched everything from a distance that happened to Jeff, and then you look at like Smile, you know, that story like Smile where Jeff, or where the person falls in love with Jeff and watches from a distance. Why are they so popular? Anyways, I noticed that Jane is gone, and after a while, Jeff twitched his head and looked at me. I looked away for a slight second, and the next thing I knew was that Jane went out her house with a kitchen knife, and I was thinking, Jane, don't go in there, you'll get yourself freaking killed. But it was too late. She was hesitating. As she was about to open the door, get on the floor and do the dinosaur, and then the next thing I knew was she went in, and then after an hour or so I heard screaming, the voice of an elf, and then the house was blazing with fire. Wow, this story is frickin' Jesus Christ, this story is so engaging. It's so breathtaking. The next thing I knew was that fire trucks were swarming the whole neighborhood. Everyone was looking at the blazing house. The flames were so powerful, and then the next thing I knew there were several bodies burned being pulled out from the house, including Jane, but she had a white face. No, she didn't. Her face was like burned, and then she got a white mask from Jeff. You couldn't even get the continuity right. Jeff must have bleached her and set fire to her face. But I forget about it all because I was so tired and put it aside and just went to sleep. Yes, because you just saw like an acquaintance of you get burned alive and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go take a nap. When I woke up, I gasped and was shocked, and I trembled in fear. As I looked to the side of my wall, there was writing wrote in blood, saying, I'm gonna enjoy killing you today, Jeff. I was so nervous, so I went out my room forgetting to wear my clothes, and then when I went into the dining room, I was screaming and sobbing as I looked at my parents and siblings. They were all dead. Jeff, you've gone too far, you faggot. I can't breathe. Oh my... I thought to myself, as I was being claustrophobic of thinking Jeff killing my family at night, My family's faces were carved with smiles, just like Jeff's smile that I saw last night. Plus, they had bloody torsos. Bloody torsos, bloody hell! A size of a basketball. And I was too paralyzed in fear, so call the cops, because I was having thoughts that Jeff would kill me by surprise when I was talking. So I just went to my room looking at his writing once more, and I was so furious that I punched the wall so hard my fist went through it, and I thought to myself, tonight at midnight, Jeff, I'm going to assassinate you for doing this to my family. So I just put on my clothes and went to school still after the incident that happened to my beloved family. I was not gonna tell my friends though, because it was my business, and I had to settle it at midnight, but I could not stop frowning. Yes, why would you go to the house of a murderer alone at midnight? You are stupid, you stupid motherfucker. I was not gonna tell my friends though, because it was my business and I had to settle it at midnight, but I could not stop frowning because every second I was thinking about my family and their carved smiles. Even at recess and lunch I was still Wait, so your entire family and like friends have been murdered, but you still have to go to school. You know, you can't take a break. You have to go to school. Oh, what? Your parents been murdered? Yeah, I've never heard that story before. You're going to class tomorrow. And after a while, my friends came to sit down with me and said, "What happened, Amer?" I didn't reply at all. Then some girls came and asked me the same thing, but I just walked away. You're so edgy. At the end of school, I just ran to my house because I could be bothered wasting my time talking to friends and saying goodbye at all. It was 12 at midnight, and I had a knife in my hand, gripped tightly, ready to assassinate Jeff. Then I heard a shatter, and I was ready to take him on. He opened the door of my room, got on the floor and did the dinosaur, and said his phrase, "Go to sleep." How do you know that's his catchphrase? He tried to aim at my hand, but he missed and got me in the cheeks instead. I screamed in pain because half of my face was ripped off. Half of my face was ripped off! And then I heard another shatter and thought it was a trespasser, but I did not have the time to worry about the trespasser. I was trying to kill Jeff, but Jeff said, "Back up, huh? Don't worry, I'll kill him." But what Jeff didn't know was that the imposter kicked the door open and Jeff was slammed against my bed. The trespasser was a girl, judging by her long hair, and she was wearing a creepy mask, but Jeff was not satisfied at all being hurt. He was chuckling and saying, "Ah, Jane, you look more beautiful than ever with that mask and fake wig." I was really startled and said, "Jane, is that you?" She replied and said, "Yes, it's me, Jane Everlasting, here to kill Jeff. Now stay out of the way." I asked her how she knew Jeff was here, but she didn't reply at all because Jeff had a trick up his sleeve, and he kicked Jane into his stomach and got a knife and threw it at me, but I dodged it. Then he threw another, but I didn't dodge, but it went to the side of my eye, so it didn't go to my brain. I screamed in agony and forget about the pain and fought against it. Then I charged at Jeff. I speared him in the torso and I kept on stabbing him in the shoulder. Why are you keep stabbing him in the shoulder? Why not in the brain or the fucking stomach? Why in the shoulder? And I was about to stab him in the brain when he punched me in the face. Yes, because he's immune to pain. And tripped me and was about to stab Jane in the brain, but But I got up and threw the knife at his hand, which he was holding his knife with, and got him. He screamed and said, "Next time you will not be so lucky." And he bailed. I told Jane, don't worry Jane, I weekend him, so next time we will get our vengeance. Jane replied, but you injured also half of your face was ripped off by a knife he threw for some reason and you only have one good eye. I know Jane, but it doesn't matter, I am one of the killers now. This is my story, draw my face if you think you can describe me. Credited to Aimer the Sorrow Killer. That. Well, what else can I say but greatest thing in the entire world. I especially love how Aimer is referred to as a killer even though they haven't killed anyone except for trying to kill Jeff because, you know, that's good. That's all right. Oh dear. So let's look at the comments. Small Horse says, oh my god, I can't believe this isn't a troll. This is so bad. I truly hope that the author has gotten a lot better at writing. Same here. Same here. Gavin the Gaming Guru says, sees entire family gutted in the middle of her house, goes to school as though nothing happened. Author, there's a thing that us people who write stories call logic. How about you fucking use it? McDon92 says, logic of this story. Walks downstairs, sees entire family brutally murdered. Jeff, you've gone too far, you faggot. Goes to school anyway. Yes. Yes. That's enough of the comments. You can go check out the comments yourself. Like always, link in the description. Jesus Christ, that was a blast. That was a freaking blast. And it was a lot of fun to read. So, hey author, if you're watching this, at least you were able to provide me and a lot of other people with some entertainment, and hopefully you can continue writing great stories for the future. And thanks to everyone for watching. Thanks to my wonderful Patreon supporters and everyone else. Yes, that's enough for this episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.